Scientific method. Notes. Why scientists use the scientific method. The scientific method is the tool that scientists use to find answers to questions. It is the process of thinking through the possible solutions to a problem and testing each possibility to find the best solution. The scientific method involves the following steps. The order of the steps can vary. Number 1, identify a problem or develop a question. Number 2, make observations. Number 3, develop a testable question/hypothesis. Number 4, design an experiment. Number 5, collect data. Number 6, make a conclusion. Number 1, identify a problem or develop a question. The problem is the scientific question to be solved. When developing a question, it is best expressed as an open-ended question, which is a question that is answered with a statement, not just a yes or no. For example, how does light affect the reproduction of bread mold on white bread? The problem should also be one that can be solved experimentally. Number 2, make observations. After you've asked a question or stated the problem, you need to gather information about the problem. There are many ways to gather information. You can use your prior knowledge, think about objects or events you have seen before. You can also make new observations. Can interview a person that has knowledge about the subject. You could search the library or internet for related published resources. Number 3, develop a testable question/hypothesis. A hypothesis is an idea about the solution to a problem based on knowledge. A hypothesis is an educated guess about how things work. If I do this, then this will happen because as a result of. Example of a hypothesis. For the earlier problem question, I believe that bread mold does not need light for reproduction on white bread. A hypothesis should always be written down before beginning the project experimentation. A hypothesis should never be changed even if experimentation does not support its data. Number 4, design an experiment. An experiment is a series of steps taken to test a hypothesis. The things that have an effect on an experiment are called variables. There are 2 kinds of variables that you need to identify in your experiments: independent and dependent. An experiment, you must also have controls. Controls are what you keep exactly the same throughout each experiment. Independent variable. The independent variable is the variable you change. Dependent variable. The dependent variable is the variable that is being observed and changes in response to the independent variable. Number 5, collect data. Data is the result of your experiment and can come in different forms. Once your experiment is complete, you collect your data and analyze them to see if your hypothesis is true or false. Make a conclusion. The conclusion is a summary of the results of the experiment. The conclusion should include the following. The conclusion is very factual and does not include opinion. After stating a conclusion based on the data you collected, compare your original hypothesis with the conclusion. State whether the results support the hypothesis or whether your hypothesis is incorrect. Additionally, you should describe some of the sources of error that may have skewed your results. What things could have been done more carefully or differently? What things had a negative impact on your results?